10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And we are live. Good evening, Marianne. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. And yourself?
I'm doing so well. You know, I do get to see you online so many times today. It's always a pleasure engaging. Always a pleasure.
Today was an exceptional day. And then, of course, Wednesday was such a lengthy day. We were online we were on the computer on Zoom for 7 hours, but we did a 6-hour event. So it's amazing. And for all the audience, if you all want to go see the event, we had some amazing speakers. It's on my Facebook, it's on Juanita's Facebook, LinkedIn. It'll be all over the place even more once we get everything up. But I want to first and foremost thank you so much for inviting me to your show. I first of all love you. I love your show. I think it's such an honor to be here, and I love all the beautiful work that you're doing and that you're sharing with the rest of the world. So I'm super honored to be here. So thank you so much. And I have my magic wand here. I have my magic wand in case there's any magic that needs to be performed.
I love that. I love it. We're going to start making wishes soon. Thank you so much, Marianne. To the audience, Marianne is a very, very special friend of mine. She's my sister. We have so many things in common. We met through the CLA. She has a phenomenal podcast as well. Check her Facebook page out. I'm also part of her women's group, her mastermind. It's a mastermind, and we had a phenomenal Women's Day. She made it phenomenal. The ladies joined in. They added all their gems. And thank you so much. So for the audience members that don't know Marianne, just in short, she's the Chief Empowerment Officer at Empowered Voice Publishing and Coaching Meditation Millionaire. She's amazing and one of the most powerful and resilient entrepreneurs I know. So tell us more about you, Marianne.
Yes, I'm definitely resilient because there's always so much going on. Geez, I've done numerous things. I've always been in sales because I love people, first of all. So I always want to do something to do with people. I have spent so many years in retail sales and B2B sales, B2C sales, like all kinds of sales. And so my last job, so to speak, I was a recruiter. So some would term it a headhunter. I don't like that term, but that's pretty much what I did. And that sort of ended with, everything that happened in 2020. So at 50, I got my real estate license, and I thought that was super exciting. So in Canada, it takes a bit to get your license. If you're doing it on a part-time basis, it usually takes anywhere from like a year to a year and a half. If you're doing it full time and you're straight out of university, you could probably pull it off in about 6 months. And so I did that for my 50th. And then, when 2020 came, I said to my coach, I said, what am I going to do for my 60th? Like, I got to do something exciting. And he goes, I think you should have your own publishing company. And at this point, I had just started writing. I just started writing a few years before that. So this was maybe, it was last year, but I was like, not really sure. Last year I turned 60. And so this actually would have been 2021. So I had only been writing for a short time, but I was writing chapters and I was participating in a lot of different books. And at this point, I had my own little meditation book, which I'd love to show you, but it's not here. But I do have this one here, so I can show you these two.
Yeah.
These two are amazing. Actually, Juanita is actually in this one with me. And this is my first real estate book.
Love it.
And this was done a little bit ago. And so she will be in the next one. And that one's coming up in the next maybe 2 weeks or so. So stay tuned. And so I do have a series actually of Self-Empowerment Reset, and there's 12 books. So this is book number 4. So I have only 8 more to go. And so my crazy goal for this year is to write all those 8.
I love that.
I think they're all just going to be anthology books. There's no way I'm going to be having time to write any of those by myself. Maybe one, if even. But I love empowering other people and putting them all into the whole books, because their faces and their auras light up, like their whole energy field, their whole life changes when you give them the opportunity. And I say, okay, thanks for sending me the chapter. You have to email it to me. I have to send it off to the editor. And then all of a sudden, when I announce to everyone, okay, the book is up, it's up on Amazon, it's officially published. And I say, you are officially a published author. They love that.
That's amazing.
It's such an amazing, amazing feeling. And it's so beautiful to be able to deliver that feeling to someone, right? So, that's one of the reasons I did say yes. Mind you, it took me probably about 4 months to say yes to my coach, because he said, I think you should have your own publishing company. I'm like, I'm not having my own publishing company. Like, I'm not going to do that. Well, part of the issue with that was my last job. Where I was. And so I think I was at the point where it was time to leave. Like I could feel a shift coming on, and I wasn't sort of jumping in. So I was kind of delaying it. And, my boss would always say, she goes, you're not really a great writer. So I'm not going to have you write this or that, which I think is hilarious, because now I have 22 books that I've been in. I have 6, actually. I'm about to launch the 7th one. And then, I don't even know how many more I'm going to do in my life. 8 for sure for the thing, but there'll be other books as well. And I'm thinking, wow. So finally, after about 4 months of saying, no, I'm not going to do that, I finally said, yeah, okay, fine, I'll do it. And then he, of course, helped me open one up and so on and so forth. And now he's using mine because he's actually shut his down to do other things. And he's doing all his publishing through mine. So it's turning out to be quite a good business for me. And I love it.
You love everything you do. You are such an inspiration to us all. And your Self-Empowerment Reset, amongst others, has gone international bestseller. I mean, what a wonderful event to celebrate. I remember when I was notified, I was just over the moon. I was so happy to hear that. It is just phenomenal that you get to do that in people's lives, to bring them that joy and upliftment.
Yes, it's beautiful. And the ability for you, for me to be able to hand this title over to people, right? First of all of my books are international bestsellers. And so for me to be able to give you the opportunity to put Juanita Kapp, international bestselling author, as part of your bio, or if you are interested in writing your own book, because once it's time to put your name under it, what is it that you want it to say, right? It's like, what do you want it to, what title do you want? And I mean, the credibility in business alone is worth it.
That's the truth.
And then if you do it 2 or 3 times, you can say 2-time international bestseller, 3-time international bestseller. I'm probably somewhere in the range of about 22 times by now, but I just keep it at 5-time international bestseller because it looks prettier, easier, more comfortable that way. And I think it's important to stay somewhat humble. And just the ability to allow people to publish a book and to go through that. Like, I'm working with someone right now. It's her first anthology book, and I've already got her first client. Not that that's what I do. I don't guarantee clients. It's just I happen to have had someone who wanted to come into my books, and they didn't. It wasn't a good fit. And so I referred her over to my client, which is perfect. So yeah, which is another thing I absolutely love doing is coaching. So coaching and coaching with books is even more. I'm actually thinking of putting together I am going to be putting together a program for, I think it'll be like a 6-week program.
Yes.
And it'll be, we'll do like a group coaching session and we'll do it for a book. So by the end of the 6 weeks, you'll be able to participate. I'm going to include a chapter in with the price. And then whoever wants to write a book and, then they'll be equipped to do that as well. So it's going to be so much fun.
Love it. Love it. And you see the joy. I see the joy, on your face when you talk about the project that you're busy with people. You just love working with people. That's something that struck a chord with me since we met. You're always so joyous and kind and happy. And I know that you are a master at connecting people. And that Tim Bird has a special designated corporate name for you. Would you like to share that with the audience? Because I think it's amazing.
This actually happened by accident. I actually have the mastermind that I belong to a few masterminds. So I've always belonged to networking events in the past, like BNI and a variety of different kinds, and local ones here, international ones, local ones. I mean, if nothing else, 2020 has brought us the ability to go worldwide virtually and do pretty much anything. And so right after this podcast, when we're done, I actually have the mastermind where I met this gentleman. And
Yes.
It's funny because one of my colleagues, she brought me and she said, "Oh, I'm going into this mastermind. Why don't you come with me?" And I said, "What's it about?" And she goes, "Oh, just a bunch of billionaires and millionaires." And I said, "Okay." I always think that learning is important. If you can't learn, says the publisher, if you can't learn and you're not coachable, it's going to be tough for you in life. And so I'm always up for learning and meeting new people. I love meeting people. It's one of my favorite things. I mean, not every single person is going to be someone you're going to be doing business with, but you don't know what's waiting for you there. So I was like, okay. I said, "What kind of people?" She goes, "Well, it's mostly techie companies." And I go, "Techie? Oh, for Pete's sake." I'm like literally the least techiest human being. Are you kidding me? I'm 61. I didn't have computers at school when I was in high school, and so techie, oh, okay, this is going to be like, I'm not going to understand anything they're saying other than, like financing and business stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, whatever, it's going to be good. I'm still going to go. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I get there. And there's a few of the gentlemen start talking. The host, super nice, seems super nice and cash, but I like it. It's good. It's like I like it when I can challenge myself a little bit cerebrally too, right? So I'm liking it. I'm like, this is good. All of a sudden, this gentleman comes on and he starts talking about something he's doing with health, and I can't remember everything, but he's putting together a wellness center, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, oh wow, that's great. I don't talk to this person, right? So he's on for maybe 2 minutes, and then the next gentleman comes on. And he's like, "Oh yeah, we're having this big thing." He starts talking and I'm like this, wellness center. So this is now the second wellness center. I thought this was going to be techie people. Wellness is totally my thing. So I'm like,
love that.
I'm listening to him and I'm going like this because I can't help myself. I'm like so visual and dramatic and, and graphic and stuff. And he's talking and I'm like, oh, he's talking about everything that I love. So he's talking about frequency healing, frequency technology, all this new stuff that he's into. And he's talking about gaming, which of all the things in the universe I was not into is gaming, but it kept coming to me. I'm like, I don't know anything about gaming. I gotta learn something about this. So he, turns out he has a game and he's doing something with the game where you win passes for his future wellness center.
Oh.
Like, oh my God, I'm loving this. And then there's cryptocurrency, and then there's this and that, and NFTs. And I'm like, yeah, this is the language that I don't speak, but I would like to know a little more about. And I was in such huge resistance with it. I thought, oh no, I can't deal with this. And I thought, well, I better learn, this is not going away anytime soon. And if it's going to be used in the world, I better hurry up and learn something. So him and I connected. He kept seeing he goes, I kept seeing your face. He goes, I knew you could understand everything I was saying. And I was like, wow, because the frequency healing is not something that everyone knows about. It's not like, oh, hey, we do massages. No, this is frequency healing. Well, frequency healing is so huge because you can cure so many things with it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so we booked a private chat. We started talking, and I was just like, oh, and he goes, I know. He goes, I could see your face. And I said, I haven't been this excited in a long time. And I was so surprised because I was expecting to just sit there and be quiet and listen. And, it's always good to listen to millionaires and billionaires, people who are more successful than me. And I'm always interested to listen to what's out there. So we connected a few times. I connected him to a few people. So one of the people is now the company's COO. And then, I don't know, we were talking about something, and he says, oh my gosh, he goes, you've connected me to, and he starts naming the people. And I'm like, I don't know, something I do. And he goes, yeah, we're definitely going to give you an official title, and you're going to be part of the team. And he goes, your title is CNO. And I'm like, what is CNO? Chief Networking Officer. And I'm like, yes, I love that. And I said, it's one of the reasons I became a recruiter, because you connect a person to a job. I've always had the ability, even before I worked as a recruiter, to say, you know what, you'd be really good at this. You'd be really good at that. And, I spent like 20, gosh, but I can't say 22 years. 22 years in retail alone. Another 8 years in recruiting. So that was sales. So that's 30 years of sales. And I think you're always selling. You're always selling yourself. Selling doesn't mean, hey, can you buy this? Selling is has many different faces. So
yeah, that's true.
40 plus years by now. I was 16 when I started with actually I was 15, but we weren't allowed to say that. So 16 when I had my first sales job, but really I was 15. So now I'm 61. So what's that? Like, geez, like 46 years I've been in sales. Is that right?
That is amazing. My goodness. That's phenomenal, Marianne. And I can see that experience coming through, because I've noticed, since we met, that you are a phenomenal connector. And you find those connection points. You map them out. You recognize them, and that's a special skill. And that's because of all of those years of studying people, studying the market, and really just connecting, enhancing people's lives, bringing out the best in them. Now, you do the same with energy. And that was a connection point for you and I, because we had a wonderful virtual coffee and we started speaking about energy and the fact that we are energetic beings. And we spoke about the universe. There we go. I mean, she even has the gadgets. I love that. And
I have
take
some
us
gadgets.
away. Tell us.
This is a smaller version. Oh, I don't know how to do, obviously, this. Anyway,
I can see it. There we go.
This will be like a smaller version of some version of frequency healing. This is obviously a small device, but I actually did use this device a lot during COVID. See, it will. So this one is based, so this is just brief. So what you do is you basically speak into this device. It looks like a phone, but it's not. This is actually my phone, just so you all know. Isn't this, and look at how cool my phone is, right? Like, that's cool. Anyway, that's besides the point. So you basically speak into here, and it captures your voice, and it works on sound therapy. And then it spits out, it does like a scan, and it spits out this gigantic thing that I'm able to email to people. And it gives you like 4 pieces. That's just 1, 2, 3. Anyways, that's just a little bit to show you. It spits out sound therapy just for the person, for that person, like it does a personalized one. And then there's many other things that you can go into later and you can also address. And so frequency matches frequency. So like depression has a frequency, and you take the frequency of depression, you match it up to the depression that you have inside of you, if that's what you have. And so that's what happens. It helps to disintegrate it. It helps to balance the energy out a little bit. And so in some cases it does disintegrate. It just depends on how bad it is, and also how open the person is to the natural healing. You know, we've all been taught that healing is done in doctors' offices and whatnot. So for the people who can't embrace anything else,
maybe it won't work.
It's probably not going to work that well on you. But if you're super open to it, then absolutely. And so, yeah, that's just one thing. I have other devices, and I have this.
I was just going to say, I know you have a lot of devices. Share them with us, please. I love that.
I don't want to take time to plug them all in, but I try to keep them unplugged because they're so powerful. This whole section, when people walk into my place and we start the heal, we haven't even started doing anything, and they're already, you know, like having symptoms of releasing, like sometimes coughing, sometimes sneezing, sometimes itchiness. It just depends on which way it's going to come out. And so that's also another frequency machine. I have another one, which is, I can't, there's too many. There's a lot.
Marianne's going to create a catalog with all her machines that she has. What does this tell us, audience? She is an expert in the field of energy and frequency and keeping that vibration high. And you know what I love about Marianne? When I speak to her on the phone, whether we are doing voice notes or an audio call or a video call, I see her smiling every single time. And even if we're not on video, I can sense that she's smiling because she's uplifting and kind and amazing. So tell us, Marianne, how do you keep your vibration so high? Because that's why you are so effective on what you do. You don't vibrate here down low. You're always up here, busy changing the world into a better place. How do you do it?
Well, you know what? There's so many things I do, but I've already made a decision that every single morning when I wake up, I'm going to be happy. There might be different levels of happy that day. It just depends on how, you know, exhausting it is the day before and how much I still have to do. But I do carve out time for myself a little bit more. I'm getting better and better at it. You know, it's very difficult when you're an entrepreneur to actually carve out time for yourself. And okay, I'm actually physically going to rest and mentally this particular day. But I will, I have a very strong morning and evening routine where there is meditation takes front seat to almost anything else. Although I do some yoga in the morning because I am 61 and stretching is a must at my age. I've been trained as a Kundalini yoga teacher for about 26 or 7 years now. And so I do some Kundalini yoga just for myself. I don't teach the yoga anymore. I just really don't have time. I do teach meditation still, and I incorporate that in everything I do. So I do some yoga in the morning just for myself. That varies on my energy level. And also sometimes I spend longer on the meditation. So I'll do that. I will definitely 100% do a meditation before I even get up out of bed. I do some journaling, and I do some gratitude sort of meditation with some breath work. And so all of that is done before I even wake up. And then I do some yoga, and then I have, my water with lemon in it, and then coffee, because I love coffee.
Another thing that we have in common.
I love coffee so much. I love the smell of coffee.
Yeah.
I don't like anything made out of coffee so much. Yeah. Like sometimes I'll have there's a cappuccino ice cream that I like, but I
Oh,
love coffee. I have an espresso machine. I love that. And I also use my French press a lot. So those are my
mm,
two go-to coffees that I love, love, love. There
amazing.
is a coffee that the APL Go makes also that's like an instant
Oh,
coffee, but
yeah.
it's made from organic and natural things. Anyways, we could talk more about that later. But yeah, there's different. I'm definitely a coffee connoisseur for sure. And I do, I love chocolate too. So when I go to different countries,
Mm.
I'll buy chocolate, but I will definitely buy their coffee. That is for sure. And then I start my day, and I make it. Even if I'm not feeling the best, I still make it enough that you can put on a smile. Like, you should be able to smile. Like, overall, I love what I do. I don't consider it to be work,
That's the
so
truth. That's the truth. We love what we do. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, Marianne and I are using these wonderful products from APL Go. I thought it was Apple Go, but it's APL Go. Amazing, amazing products. Reach out to us about this. I mean, she and I had a call the other day, and I wasn't taking these vitamins specifically for my hair, but my hair has been growing and getting so much thicker, and I just feel amazing using these products. So check us out. We'll put the link in the comments. You know, Marianne, we both love coffee. We both love chocolate. We love being entrepreneurs. And we are awake at the oddest hours of the day. I mean, that's when we have our best conversation. So tell me more about that drive of entrepreneurship. You work with people in Australia and in the UK. Tell us more, because you're a coach of note.
here's the vitamins. I totally missed talking about that. That's actually a huge part of my life. I've actually been taking vitamins ever since I was 19 years old. I was reading this article written by Linus Pauling, who is a Nobel Peace Prize winner and Nobel Prize winner for chemistry for his work with vitamin C. And so when I read that, vitamin C could help you heal a lot of things, because I had chronic sinus infections and chronic all kinds of bronchitis and all kinds of things. And so I started taking vitamins. And then shortly after that, I started learning more and more about them and started selling them. And so I only sell them when I really love them. And so this particular company, the products are made from the DNA of the plant, and they're 100% absorbable, and they start working in 15 seconds, and they are all made as lozenges. So they're like
Yummy.
candies. There's no worries about, swallowing those big gigantic pills. There's no smells. There's no funky smells. They're all amazing. They are
Mm,
so good. I can't.
I'm having
That's all
one.
I'm going to say. So get in touch with either myself or Juanita, and we will help you out. They are outstanding. I'm sorry. Now I forgot what you asked me.
What keeps you on that drive? Because you're a coach, like me, and you work globally with people like I do, but you have Australian people that you coach. You work with the UK as well, and you and I are up at the oddest hours, guys. You should hear the conversations Marianne and I have. They are just phenomenal. What drives you, Marianne? What
I,
drives you to do that?
just the passion and the love of the business. Honestly, I can't. If I sometimes, my schedule is so out of control, as is Juanita's, right? And as a coach, yes, I definitely have. I'm an intuitive empowerment coach on top of being a real estate agent and publisher, and I do international retreats, which we'll get to eventually. And then, oh gosh, an author and workshop leader and meditation leader and so on and so forth. So I do work all over the place. Like, if for me, I'm on EST time, but if I'm working with Australia, I have to I have to sometimes go into like 2 and 3 in the morning. And then if I'm working with someone in the UK, I then need to be up by 4 and 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
So sometimes you get an hour, sometimes you get 2 hours sleep. It just kind of
Mm.
works out that way. I mean, obviously you catch up, but I'll be like, oh, I'm just standing there going, oh yeah, you know what? And it'd be like 11:30 at night here, or maybe almost 12:30 at night, or 12 or midnight or whatever. And I'm like, March 8th is next week. I really wanted to do a summit.
Mm.
Hi, Juanita. Okay, you better not. This is how the conversation goes. You better not answer me right now because you better not be up because it's really late at my place. So I know it's super late at your place. But I was just thinking, I think for next week, I'd like to have a summit. I think I'd like to put together a summit for International Women's Day, which is less than a week away. What do you think?
Yes, let's do it.
I wake up in the morning and she goes, yes, it's great. And I'm like, oh man, you got to have these crazy ideas.
Yeah.
And then you have some crazy people around you to help you out with them because she says yes. And I'm like, okay, that's it. Now I have zero excuses. So now I have to do this. And I'm like, but overall, it's not that big of a deal. I can do this. I've done it before. I've done summits before. It's not that hard. And it was really, the summit was more for my clients,
Beautiful.
people I do business with. So it wasn't like I didn't know what to expect. And we just kind of wanted to do it and get it out there to everyone, to as many women as humanly possible. So we put it on all the platforms. And it was funny because I took about 3 or 4 hours and I got everyone on board. I had 14 women speaking, and I was just all that was left to do was to tweak the schedule, because even after those 4 hours I already had most of the schedule done, and we were just waiting for some people to get back to me, and that was it. It was done. Really, there wasn't it's really not that much work if you've done it before. You might want to do something, if they're speaking longer, but everyone had like anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes to speak.
Yeah.
And it worked out really well. It turned out to be 6 hours. It's sitting on my Facebook page, and I believe yours as well. And
Yes.
it will be at some point up on my YouTube when I get it up there, when I take a minute. And LinkedIn and so on and so forth. Very successful, absolutely amazing leaders, all women, empowering women. Please go on there and listen to it. It's fantastic. It's free. You don't have to pay anything. Just please listen to it. It'll help inspire you, because even as entrepreneurs, we all know, we have to take some time for ourselves. We have to feed ourselves so that we can, pour into other people. If you don't pour anything into you, how are you going to share what you have? Like, it's just never going to happen. So if you want to be your best coach, if you want to be the best real estate agent, the best, you have to do it too. You have to take time for yourself. Like, I know that in the morning, if I didn't meditate, I just don't have that balance. I can just feel myself. I've been doing the job long enough, not that it's a job, but I've been doing things long enough. I could probably go on automatic pilot. That's not a problem. But I don't want to be on automatic pilot. I want to enjoy what I do.
I agree. And you make it fun, you make it joyous. And I want to be number one in what I do. Marianne wants to be number one in what she does. And I want to speak to the audience today, get a level up this year and say to yourself, I'm in this space. I'm in this corporate space. I'm in this entrepreneurial space. I want to be number one. And you know what? If you believe it, you can be. And I see wonderful comments streaming in. I have to say hi to our friends, Marianne. Let me read some of the comments to you. We have wonderful people supporting us. Jonathan Ellen says, 2 amazing ladies right there. Thank you, Jonathan. You're amazing too. And then we have Gabby says, she says we should never stop learning. And she loves it when we challenge her, when you challenge her, Marianne. She loves that. Yvette, she's on. Yvette, we love you. She says, hello, ladies. And then, of course, we know Gordon D. Melville, the long-bearded guy. He says, awesome source, 2 powerhouse women, servant leaders, incredible. We want to say hi to all of you. I see Ivy came in and she said, we are both amazing Renaissance women. Thank you so much for everyone joining in and supporting us. We love you. And we know that each and every one of you holds your space, you hold your energy, and you're making the world a better place. Do you have any comments for them, Marianne?
Thank you all so much. All beautiful people, super. All those women you just announced, all super strong women. Ivy was also on our summit, and as was Yvette and Jonathan. Of course, we did a podcast with him this morning. Juanita and I have been podcasting it the whole day.
We have. We can go for hours.
Yes, all super powerful people, and we all met in the same CLA, in the same
Yes,
mastermind. So thank you
absolutely.
for that. Everyone's awesome. I love it. I love all of them. They're so wonderful, such wonderful and strong and amazing entrepreneurs.
Absolutely. And if you're out there in the audience and you do not belong to the CLA yet, make sure to look up the Connected Leaders Academy on Facebook. Every single person that you've heard from today, including me and Marianne, we are a part of this wonderful community that really connects leaders, that really makes a difference, and that really assists you in your business and scaling and learning and growing. So look it up on Facebook. And I want to ask Marianne. Marianne, you know, entrepreneurship is so amazing. I'll tell you what's the most wonderful thing for me of being an entrepreneur. I get to set up my own schedule,
Mm-hmm,
which means that I get to make time for my children
mm-hmm,
and I get to make time for myself because I can.
mm-hmm,
And I love what I do.
mm-hmm.
What's the most important thing, the thing in entrepreneurship that gives you the most joy? What do you love about being an entrepreneur?
Everything. um, Literally everything. My favorite thing is that I am not a very structured, not a highly structured person. I'm certainly organized enough. I've had my own business for, geez, like 40 plus years, really. So that, I understand how to do things. I understand you need to have some structure, some scheduling, and so on and so forth. But I like doing things my way because I think that's the right way for me. I'm not as much of a control freak as I used to be. So I don't think everyone else needs to do it my way like I did once upon a time. However, in my world, if you are structured and you're putting on an event, I will do whatever you ask me to do because it's your event and I'm going to either do it and respect you or I'm not going to bother doing it. But when I'm doing my event, there's probably going to be a huge element of freestyle. And I like not knowing every single thing and not controlling every single thing. And I most like it when I can be myself and be my authentic self, which I love the fact that I'm not perfect. And I love that I have no trouble showing that. Once upon a time when my level of insecurity was sky high and I couldn't really be myself,
Yeah.
that was torturous. But being able to be myself and goof up and show humans out there, hey, you can be a speaker, you can be a coach, you can be this, you can be that, and still not, you can still make mistakes and life still goes on. And you shouldn't wait until everything is perfect. You should just jump in and figure it
Yes.
out. Not every single thing, obviously something needs to be structured, and I do operate with a schedule most of the time. But my favorite thing is that if I had to, change or switch around things, I can do and be myself. And there's no one, up here going, you need to go do this. You need to do this way. You need to write this way. You need to, and it's like, oh, I don't do well with that. Like, I just don't do well with that. I'm an Aquarius. Like, you need to let me be me. If you're
And
looking
we love it when you are you.
you
We
know,
love it when you are you. Now, I believe you have a healthy way of going about your entrepreneurial journey. There is structure, but there's no micromanagement involved in what you do, and you make people feel comfortable around you. Now, I always tell people, I love to ride the waves. I don't control them because I know the universe is always working everything out for my good. And you and I know that. So why do we try and control? We wouldn't try that. We go with what we know. We do our best in every situation and it pans out. And that's what I love about you. You're so easy to talk to, and you're very knowledgeable. And because you're knowledgeable, it's easy for you to make decisions. So you don't get hung up on things. We'll talk and we'll say, yeah, this and this, and you'll be like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. You have that confidence inside of you, and I think at some point when we all start out as entrepreneurs, we all go through that stage where we're a little bit new to the area, and but you are a salted entrepreneur. You've been in the space for so long, and that shows. So I want to ask you, do you have any wisdom that you want to share with the audience before we close this session off? What would you love to share with them today? Words of wisdom or maybe a tip?
Gosh, there's so much. I have to pick one. Well, there's a lot. One, I want to say how important it is to partner up with the divine. So whatever your version of the divine is. So for me, it's God. So I consider God to be my partner in my business, all of my businesses. And the more I get comfortable with myself and the more secure I feel in myself and the higher my self-worth is, the more comfortable I am with what I call is my higher self, my God. And you have to be open to the suggestions. I think it's important to not know every single thing. You know what? If you're driving from New York to California, you really only need to see the few feet in front of you, right? And if it's at night, what are you getting? Like maybe 3 feet in front of you the whole time?
Yeah.
You do not need to see LA from New York. You don't need to do that. It's okay. You need to trust. You need to trust yourself, have some faith, trust in your employees, your clients, and also trust that the proper client, the appropriate client will come to you. I'm a coach. I don't need to coach every single human being in the entire universe. There's so many of us out there. Not every single person is going to gravitate to me, and that's okay. So if you get a no, don't get freaked out. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And don't wait for any kind of perfection. Perfection it's not even real. It's not authentic. And people love authenticity. The more authentic a person is, the more people will feel that energy from you, and the more comfortable they will feel. And when people are comfortable, they'll buy from you, right? When they know and trust you. So that's definitely the main thing. And then of course the main thing is make sure you make time for yourself. Yeah. So I know that was like 25 things all at once, but there we go.
I love it, and it's all true. And you know what's more amazing even than that is the fact that you live every single point that you've raised. Yeah. And it's true, not everyone is always a fit, but that's okay, because we can't deliver to the whole world all the time, and we can't keep the whole world happy all the time. But the values and the principles that you bring, I just love those, because they uplift us and they edify us, and I'm learning daily. So thank you so much for taking me through that learning curve. And as a Meticulous Moments audience, we want to uplift you and build you and cheer you on. So how can we support you, your anthologies, anything that we can support you with, any upcoming things that you want to list?
Yes, I have an upcoming book. Okay, here, I'm going to read you the next 8 titles. I don't know how many of these might get changed, but the very next book that I have coming out, that's already, I've already started filling it up. It's already almost half full. Is called, so they're all called Self-Empowerment Reset, and then they have a subtitle. So this one is Self-Empowerment Reset. Forgiveness is for me, not them. So the next one after that is going to be The Rocky Road to Inner Peace. I'm going to do one which is just for people approaching 60s. Certainly anyone can write about it, but it'll be probably people in their late 50s, and it's going to be called Sexy 60s.
So beautiful. I love that.
Self-Empowerment Reset, Sexy 60s. And I don't know if I'm going to call it The Sexy 60s or just Sexy 60s. Wow, that's a tongue twister. It's awesome. And so that'll be mostly people that are in their 60s, but also if you're in your 70s, that would be a great idea. And also if you're in your 50s, right? Because you're approaching 60s, people who are leaving 60s, people who are in their 60s. And then there's going to be many more. I'm not 100% sure, but I know I have one. Authenticity is the path. Ooh. I have another one called I Have Boundaries? ? My Inner Voice is a one with the divine. The Courage to Trust yourself or your inner self. I haven't decided yet.
Beautiful.
And I frequently just get other messages and I change my words around. So also, if you are in Canada and you're looking for an investment in Ontario, I'm your girl for real estate. That is 100% my field of expertise. I am a real estate investor and have numerous properties myself. And I work with investors probably 80% of the time. And then the rest is still some first-time buyers and all of that, and coaching. I'm an intuitive empowerment coach and I do retreats. Oh, we didn't even talk about the retreat.
Nice.
I'm
We
just
have
going
a surprise. Marianne is going to give you a little bit of a detail about it.
Yes, we're hoping for the end of this year if all goes well. So, and travel is still okay. We will have a retreat in South Africa that Juanita and I are going to put together, but she's going to take care of the South African side, of course. Yes. And it's going to be a women's retreat, unless we change something and we include everyone. But typically I do women's retreats. Yeah. And that's it. Stay tuned. That's all you get.
Yes. The rest, watch this space. Love that. Powerful words from a powerful human being. You are such an inspiration. You're such a breath of fresh air. Thank you for being who you are. We all love you. The audience is sending you so much love and hugs. And Marianne, just keep on being you. You're really changing the world and making it a better place and empowering people. I know empowering people is really close to your heart. So thank you. We appreciate you for spending this time with us, and have a lovely rest of your day.
Thank you so much for having me here. And thank you everyone for watching. And thank you for your hearts and your comments, everyone. Love you guys. Mwah! Thank you so much, Juanita. You're awesome. You're amazing. And you do some really, really amazing work. You are so international now. I can't wait till you move closer. And I can't wait till you come visit me. So we're all going to Gord's event at the beginning of May, and she's coming to stay with me. So I'm super excited.
I guess then you'll get no sleep. Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you on the next session. Goodbye.
Hi, my name is Jose Escobar, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Connected Leaders Academy. We're the #1 fastest growing community and tribe of some of the highest level entrepreneurs all around the country and around the world. We're in 36 states across the U.S., in 11 international countries, and over 240 plus members, growing every single day. And I'm honored, excited, and I'm glad to say that I'm proud to be the official sponsor of the Meticulous Moments podcast with Juanita Kapp. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm excited for this journey.
Hey everybody, my name is Patrick Rude. I'm the owner of Rude Financial Services, a proud sponsor of the Meticulous Moments podcast, hosted and directed by the beautiful, strong, and intelligent Juanita Kapp. I cannot tell you enough about what this woman has done with this podcast and the effect that she has had on me and all of the other sponsors and people that listen. Don't miss it.